This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped in 1941 at age 2 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and my identity stolen, given the name of Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. I'm showing this. This is my father, Edward the Eighth, who never married Wallace Simpson. That a double married Wallace. It was a total plot to take my father down, and they did. Now, I want to show you this because involved in the hate crimes, rather than being in Charlottesville, Virginia, which is where they killed Anastasia, who's my cousin, by the way, and she was Anna. I'm going to go ahead and say Stanton, Virginia is near Charlottesville, near Roanoke, where I am, not too far away. I never knew I'd end up here in Roanoke. Um, but Woodrow Wilson, president, was one that helped. The Americans were the one that helped kill Tsar Nicholas and his family and burn them. And now then, I'll try to put this up. Now then, they killed Anna at the Blue Ridge Mental Health. Total lie. She did marry Professor Monahan there at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, and they had a home in Scottsville outside there. And it was, you should really know the truth about what was done to her. But I came through there. I was out at Larry Flint's, and I'd written a book about mind control murders, and the person that shot Larry Flint was under mind control. They're done in patterns and can be proven because it's invisible, so it's hard to prove. But anyway, I was out there in the campaign in '83 to replace the Dr. Congressman Larry McDonald from Atlanta, who was supposed to be on the passenger plane with 260 plus, the KAL, en route from Anchorage or Juneau, Alaska to Seoul, South Korea. Here's the deal, though. I had written about Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, in a book, a MD, a license to kill. That's when Larry Flint was shot. And he even says in this endorsement, I'm going to show you in a minute, that I know who was responsible for his shooting in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I lived in Marietta outside, I was in Cobb County outside Atlanta, 70, writing the book, and about 77 till April Fool Day of 80 when they put antifreeze in me. And I should have died. It was horrible. Every crime in the book done, and nothing's been done. It's an ongoing investigation, they say, the FBI letter that I got from U.S. Attorney Harper, June the 23rd of 1979. So I'm going to go to this. These murders were done in patterns like the University of Virginia. You can go way back to, how would you prove this? It's the Tesla files. And you can, they were stolen 30, and you can create a illness or cure it. So from way back before then, they could create illnesses, cure them. But if you look at all around you, the hospital, the medical, and the pharmaceutical, and all the supplies that go into feeding the hospital would really tear down your economy if you told the truth about it. So all this Jerry Lewis telethon and all the telethons are just feeding not to the research to find a cure, because they've had cures. Now, it can also be used to grow limbs back. So I'm going to leave it at that. My dad's Edward the Eighth, and he never married Wallace Simpson. He married Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, my mom, from Madison, Wisconsin, and she was the real Queen of England. They were wed in 36, or they were married in 1936 and stayed married. They were still alive when I came to Roanoke in 1986. The double died that married Wallace Simpson and became the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor back in, he died in 72. It was a plot to take my father down. They did. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this because she contacted me, and I friended her on Facebook, and at least she had the guts to come forward. from the Windsor side. I don't know if any of them have tried to help me, or my own uncle helped kidnap me and became the illegal King of England. My God, the same year that my dad was supposed to be, he's already married to my mom. Can you get this? And he's supposed to be marrying uh, Wallace Simpson, the American spy. 1937 is when my uncle George became the illegal monarch and then helped kidnap me in 39, plotted it with Roosevelt. I'm going to show you the picture. And my kidnapping in 41, because there was an addendum. My father was a good guy. He wouldn't go along with the Illuminati, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the Kennedys. I did not know the Kennedys were kin to the Mountbattens, or any kin to the Windsors. Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador by Roosevelt, so you got the Jew in really input, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, all of that. Who are head of the New World Order. And so I'm not going to go any further. I put all this up. It's when the United Nations became in power, came to be. It was illegal treaties that allowed the United States to invade the UK and take over after I was kidnapped and my father taken down with character assassination and lies. They burned the Windsor files, my birth and the addendum, and my mom and dad being married. There's Winston Churchill helped Roosevelt, and all the presidents and their Secretary of State have known since my kidnapping and what they did to my father. I'm going to tell you this. Jody Mountbatten, she's a cousin of mine. She's on the Philip Mountbatten's illegal, and Elizabeth, of course, that whole lineage. And anyway, I wanted to get to this part because I've had a hell of a rough life. So let's see if I can. I've been having to live out for 2 weeks up at a campsite and really beat up, is all you can say, but that's happened. I'm a veteran of war. Only I can't, like a guy here where I'm at the moment, had his shirt on it when he went down for breakfast. He's from Alabama, where they took me, Moulton, Alabama, when they kidnapped me and dumped me in that family. Uh, you know, let me put this, the hate crimes are what's been done to me because I'm British, and because the Americans kidnapped me, the Kennedys helped, and Jody Mountbatten, who's a cousin, and contacted me and at least had the guts to say it. She said, the minute I heard about you, I knew it was all true. She remembered it. And so does Elizabeth. When I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41, Elizabeth and her father and mother lived there, but I had come back with my parents because I'm the legal heir. But then they kidnapped me. They took care of that, didn't they? Elizabeth remembered my mother, Claudia O'Keefe, and my kidnapping, and that includes Diana was told not to speak of it, and she was with Kissinger when they were giving away in charity up D.C. clothes, and I'm living on the Appalachian Trail, freezing and starving. He's on the Watergate tapes, Kissinger is. And he's ordering my lobotomy if the Brits and my family don't come through with ransoms. So there you go. I'm going to get to this, though. The plane that took down, I'd written about him in a book, and that's when Larry Flint was shot, 78 March. Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor. I was writing about mind control murders. And 83, I was flown out there August the 31st of 83, which is just day before yesterday. This is when Diana, the 20 years, when Diana's all over the screen and you didn't see what's just happened to me. It's ongoing hell. I don't know if this is going up. No, I'm going to go ahead and just put this up. When I got the letter, MD, a license to kill, when I did the book, and Larry Flint was shot, and all this was a list of murders that are done with mind control. Some of them can be proven, like the Well, all of them can really if you get it up there in short and order, but these can be proven. Alexis Murphy from near Charlottesville, and Hannah Graham. She's English and she was murdered. Jesse Matthews, but he was programmed, and I did not know what I had. There's been no doubt in anybody's mind. Morgan Harrington's father's psychiatrist from here in Roanoke. So Jesse Matthews is in prison. He for those murders, not Alexis Murphy, but hers is in this, and you can prove these three. So that's all I'm going to say right at the moment. They're done in patterns. The hate crime is against me because I'm English, I'm British, I'm the monarch, and Jody Mountbatten, when she contacted me and sent me pictures of the Kennedys when she was growing up, she played with them. They visited her in their castle and everything. So this whole plot to take down my dad was hatched a long time ago by the New World Order that is now in power and taken over as the United Nations. I want to show you this. And get this. This has to be precision. To do this, and it's been used a lot. The United States, the global government, can create an illness, cure it, from way back the Tesla files in 1930. And this is part I was writing about in the book. You can regrow limbs, create an illness, or cure it. But what I wanted to get to here, I was going to show this. Anastasia was murdered there in Charlottesville. That was Anna. And I had court records that nobody would touch from Charlottesville that proved part of the royal family came over to try after she was murdered. This really happened. Nobody's touched it. And I'm going to show this. I'm here again. I was here for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to show, this is when I checked in here. The Charlottesville happened. And the girl's name there that I think he is a Marine, run down in the crowd with the car, and a lot was said about that. Has to be precisions to pick her out of a crowd in a car. This is how it's advanced and everything. Here's her name. She checked me in here. And believe me, I'm not going to show this until I'm gone because I've suffered a lot. Too many people. I'm going to say what Mountbatten, Jody, said. She said that she was talking to her father about me, and it would ruin too many reputations if they told about me and about what happened to my dad and what happened to my children who are heirs, not William and Kate. They aren't heirs. What was done to my sons is the sickest, and me. I'm going to leave it at that. Reputations is how they took my father down, a decent man who loved his country and loved my mom, a school teacher from Wisconsin, George O'Keeffe's sister. And they did these horrible things to him, this country and part of my own people. So help me God, I hope there is a judgment day that can set things straight.